Welcome back to the channel. And today, wow. As you can tell by the title of the video, you know why I am very, very hyped and excited. I just woke up from a nap. Go on YouTube, find out they're rebooting or doing a Scream 5. And then I watched 3C Films video and it's real. Scream is back. And I can't be more hyped. The article will be linked in the description. I just took the key notes of the article and I put them on a little piece of paper. The big thing is Scream is coming back, and we're going to talk about the news, how they should do it. I'm going to be doing Scream videos now. Like, I'm already doing Halloween videos. I'm going to be talking about Screams. I'm just shocked. I just am. But we're going to get a reboot or a Scream 5, and it's going to be coming from Spyglass. Never heard of this studio to now. The studio that will be behind it, it will be called Studio Glass. Not Studio, Spyglass. For some reason I was thinking studio. Spyglass. Spyglass is the studio that's behind this new Scream 5 or reboot. Now, I was hoping Blumhouse would get the rights, but I'm still hyped, still pumped, still excited, and I can't wait to see what Spyglass does with this. Now, let's talk. Now, that's basically it. That's all thing we know. Scream's confirmed, Scream 5 or reboot, and it's gonna be by Spyglass. Now, when it comes to Scream, let me fix my camera really quick. Now, what do you do? Okay, let's talk about a Scream 5 for a moment. There's a couple of ways to do a Scream 5. The first way is continue on from part 4 as it is. Okay? If you could do it like that, you could continue from that on. Good, we're good from there. Okay, cool. Or you can 3C Films even did a video. Like I said, I'm just excited. 3C Films, he did a video on it, and he had a good idea where he was discussing and talking about and discussing what if Cindy Prescott has kids, something happens to her daughter, you know, and she's still the main focus, but what if a new group kind of comes in, kind of like what Scream 4 did, but the new cast is more of a focus this go around. But here's the thing though, if you do a Scream 5, you're going to need to do a Scream 6. That's just really the way the dice rolls in my opinion, because if you do a Scream 5, okay, if you do a Scream 5, how much can you tell in one film? How much can you tell in one film? You know what I mean? Maybe you can make it a little bit longer than usual, but then again, you walk in a thin line because people may be upset because it's one of the longest Scream films. People may get upset, so you walk in a thin line with that. So what I'm talking about is, if you do a Scream 5, you're going to need to do a Scream 6 to wrap everything up. If you do a Scream 6, then you're going, yeah, to me, yeah, because how much can you really put in a Scream 5? How much story can you put in one film? So I think if you do a Scream 5, you just need to do a 6, and the 6 would be the one-off. You know, do Scream 5, do a Scream 6, then in the next 4 to 5 years later, reboot, you know. But I'm not saying jump right on it, you know what I mean? But like, do Scream 5 and 6, Scream hype is there, you come out in the next so many years later, reboot the franchise, but find a way to get people on board with a remake. And I think that the proper way is to have Kevin Williams involved in the reboot, and I hope he's involved in, if whatever this is, he's involved in it. You guys don't understand how excited I am to think that we're actually going to be getting Scream now. This is amazing. This really is. It's all. Come on. But you know, that's the thing. I don't want any excuses from Spyglass. Don't want any excuses. You know, you saw what Halloween 2018 did. You know, they wrote the script. They probably wrote the script previous year. They probably touched up on the script probably in 2018, and then they went and filmed it. So I don't want to hear any don't want to hear any um excuses from Spyglass. But I would like it to take a year perhaps, you know. One reason is, come on, I want some cool promotion. I want some cool promotion. This is so off topic, but yes, do it. Give us some cool promotion. You know, like how Child's Play 2019 did cool promotion. Ghostface is one of those characters where you can have where you can have some really cool promotion stuff. You know, you can do something with one of these apps. You could do something with one of these apps, Snapchat or Snapchat or Instagram. You can do something with, you know, with one of these popular apps. You know, maybe you have like a voice changer app that changes your face. You know, that changes your voice into Ghostface. You know, I know movie theaters don't let you wear masks into the theaters, but what I'm talking about is, what if at the end of Scream, the theaters surprise you and they hand you a mask? Yeah, some small, yay, nothing too wild, but it's a special type of Ghostface mask. I think that'd be cool. Why not? Like, have some unique stuff. You know, like you know, like how Child's Play 2019 did it. You know, if this is a Scream 5 Scream remake reboot, give us some cool promotion. You know, just don't give us a cool poster and a cool trailer. No, go all out. Really go all out. I'm telling you, go all out. You know, you see what Halloween 2018 did. You see what, you know, Child's Play 2019. You seen what Child's Play did. You seen what Child's Play did. You seen what Halloween did. There is no excuses for you not to go all out on this. There's really no excuse. And horror movies are getting nominated for Oscars now. Halloween 2018 won a reward. Come on, there's no excuse for Spyglass to not do something really cool promotion-wise. And two, if it's a Scream 5, a Scream reboot, you got to be respectful to Wes Craven. You gotta be respectful to him. Because I think that's the biggest thing. If praying that it's not going to be bad, but if the Scream movie is going to be bad, that's going to disrespect Wes Craven. But you know Wes Craven is looking down and smiling because this is actually happening. All of us fans are happy. You know, I'm just very excited, you know. So it's going to be a reboot or a Scream 5. I say keep both of them on the table. You know what I mean? Keep both of them on the table. You know, maybe I don't know, you know, Scream 5 or reboot, which one do I want? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to do a waiting game. Now, what do I mean a waiting game is, you know, like, I respect David Arquette, Courtney Cox, and all of them, but I don't really want to just wait on them. You know, I don't want to hear from one of them saying, oh, I need to wait for the time is right. Okay, well, when the time is right, you know what I mean? This is the perfect time for a Scream movie, so I'm not being rude or mean, but I don't want waiting to hold this film back, because that has held films back before, and you know what has happened there, you know, so I don't want that for Scream. So maybe you do go the reboot route. Maybe you do remake it. But again, that's the thing too. If you remake Scream, you need to do something brave and do it really different. Because if you don't do something different, the original Scream was short and sweet. You basically cut it to the party kind of quickly, which worked. Um, so if you do remake Scream and you have that iconic party scene, okay, how can you make it different? How can you spice it up? And you would have to do the pacing differently. That's gonna make people angry. But if you do a remake, a reboot, you're going to need to do it differently, because you can walk a thin line for making a Scream remake seeming to beat for beat the original, and you don't want that. You don't want that. So, and again, like with the, I don't know which one I want, but they should be both laid out on the table. I think they should do a Scream 5. If you do a Scream 5, you need to do a 6 to tie everything together. After 5, and then I say a 6, then remake it. But as thing too, you need to get the guy who did the Ghostface voice in all of the Scream movies. You need to get that voice back. That guy that voiced Ghostface, he is Ghostface. And if you don't get him back, again, why didn't he? You probably, you know what I mean? So, I don't want to hear any excuses there. Oh, they couldn't get him when they probably could. You know what I mean? They just didn't want to put the money out to get him. So I don't want to hear any excuses from Spyglass on that end. I never heard too much. I don't know about Spyglass. That's the thing. I never heard of them. It sounds like they're like a straight to Blu-ray DVD type of situation. I don't want that for Scream. I want it to go to theaters and do. I wanted to do. I wanted to do what Halloween did. That's what I wanted to do. This is just exciting me. And you would think like this be all a short video. No, I talk a lot. I'm passionate about this franchise just like I am with Chucky and Halloween. We're going to talk about this. And we're going to discuss it. I'm also going to be making now, my planning has changed. I'm going to be making a who should direct a Scream 5 or remake. I already have somebody in mind. Especially if you do a remake, you're going to need to draw people in, you know what I mean? So, with this one director I have in mind, always going to draw people in. Trust me. So, Scream 5 or Reboot? Which one do you guys want? For me, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. I don't know which one do I want. Because they both sound interesting to me, but they both need to be laid out on the table. If you do a Scream 5, you need to do a Scream 6. There's really no way around that. But then again, you know, is David Arquette, is Courtney Cox, are they on board to do two more Scream films to wrap everything up in a nice little bow and tie it up and close it off? Are they willing to do it when it's time to do it? You know what I mean? If they're not, then if they're not ready to do it when the time is right, I don't know what you could do then. You know what I mean? Because you wrote the script around there. You know what I mean? So I don't really know how you could do that. But I'm just excited that this is actually happening. I took a nap, woke up to some awesome news, and as well, Jared Robertson, he did a video. I saw it in my notification box. I haven't watched his video yet, so I can't wait to see his thoughts on it. So shout out to Jared Robertson. Saw you in my notification box on YouTube, so I'll be checking out your video right after I make this video, by the way. So Scream is back. I'm excited. You know, like I have I can't talk. I got me a rare Scream mask of it. I'm not gonna take it off the wall, but I got a rare Scream mask of it. You guys see it in videos. It's not the Scream 4 mask, it's the Scream 2 mask. I've talked about that mask in multiple videos. Love that Scream mask because it's one thing in my it's one thing in my horror collection that is somewhat rare, and I love that mask. So I can't wait. But that's the thing. If Scream needs to come back with a punch, not only does the movie need to be good, but you need to do good promotion. You need you know what I mean? You need to do good promotion and actually get this film out there and do good promotion. So, Scream 5 or Scream Reboot? Which one do you guys want? I really want a Scream 5. But if that really can't work out, then let's do the reboot or remake route. I'm open to new opportunities. But then again, if you do a remake, reboot, whatever you feel like calling it, okay, then what is going to be the commentary on horror films? Like I said, you got horror films winning awards. Slashers are coming back. What can be the and we're getting original ideals for horror. Okay, so what can be the commentary for horror today? Scream 4 already discussed remakes, so you can't talk about remakes, and remakes aren't really that popping right now, so really what can you discuss? So if you do remake Scream, you gotta come up with some creative commentary and not copy what has came before it. You know, this is a cool idea, but I don't know how would it work because you really do you really wouldn't have the but again, was there a lot of technology in the 90s? No. Maybe you twist this franchise up a little bit. Maybe you spice it up a little bit. You know, maybe you spice it up a little bit and you do a Scream remake, but it's not set in modern day. It's not set in the 90s. It's set in the 80s. And you thinking I'm crazy, but I'm not. I mean, in the 90s, there weren't really that much technology, but besides cell phones. In the 80s, I forgot what year like the big cell phones came out, like the big chunky phones. So you would have a cell phone, you would have a home phone and the big chunky phones. You would have those. The phones would still be involved, but yeah, you spice it up. Have a Scream remake set in the 80s, talking about the 80s commentary of slashers. Spice it up, make it different. You know, to me, that's very creative and very different and will throw people off and I think will surprise a lot of people. You know, I wouldn't say have a Scream remake in the 90s. Nah, because then you're trying to do something that you know it's going to be too much like the original. I think having it set, again, I don't know when the big chunky phones came out, but they came out during the 80s, I'm sure. So, you know what I mean? Like, have the big chunky phones. I mean, there's all kinds of opportunities. As I said, 3C Films talked about what if Cindy has kids. There's so many opportunities, you know, you could really do. You can do, hey, what if, you know, if you do a Scream 5, hey, what if Cindy Prescott still lives in Woodsboro, let's say, and, for example, I don't, you know, there's so many ideas you can do, and it's just, like, I could just sit here all day and throw around ideas. I really could, because Scream is one of those franchises where there's a lot to do. You know, to me, there's a lot to do by still, you know, respecting Wes Craven. So there's really a lot that you can do. You know, Scream is one of those horror franchises that there's a lot to do. People may not think that, but yeah, there's a lot to do. Maybe you can, you know, have a reboot set in modern day. But what will your commentary be? Maybe you can have it set in the mid-2000s. But then again, horror remakes started to come around 2003. So you would have to throw remakes in the mix. But Scream 4 already talked about remakes. See what I'm saying? So it's really how you look at it. Like, it really is how you look at it, you know. But I'm saying too, if you do a Scream remake, don't shove social media down the throat. I like how Wes Craven did it in Scream 4. It's very subtle. You saw people like using Facebook, you saw them texting, etc. What I would like in a Scream reboot is don't make any excuses, Spyglass. actually pay these companies. I will pick two popular social media apps. The two popular social media apps is Instagram, Snapchat. Maybe throw Twitter in there, but then you kind of getting kind of too much. So we're just gonna be looking at Snapchat, Instagram, and iMessages, which is not really an app, but it's iMessages, which will be including FaceTime and maybe like Ghostface. Um, maybe maybe he wants his kills to be known now, and he FaceTimes, his killings. Again, even if you do a Scream 5, you're going to need to do the technology very subtle. We got you know doorknobs with locks on it that are connected to our phone now. We could lock our door by our phone. So there's a lot of technology, and I want some like realisticness. I want some realisticness thrown in there. You know, I really want Ghostface to get creative of how he stalks, because Ghostface is a real Ghostface can be a real serial killer. So kind of think about that. With all this technology, it'd be very easy for a serial killer to get caught. Think about that. People have cameras in their homes. People have cameras outside. People have cameras, in their car and outside of their car. So people have cameras everywhere, and people have alarms everywhere. People are so more alert for home invasions and etc. Now, it's just the norm. No matter where you live, you're expected for something to kind of happen. That's kind of in our nature now. So I do want that to be a sport a little bit, where it's not hard for a Ghostface, but he has to get creative, whoever this killer is. So if it's a Scream 5 or a remake, Ghostface needs to get creative, and I really want to see him get creative in this. Really want him to get creative in this, like super creative, to the point where, okay, this this is a believable killer. You know what I mean? Like, he's a believable killer. Maybe for example, something small. Maybe he takes out the power. If he takes out the power, he just took out the Wi-Fi. So all the doors are unlocked if that person has the Wi-Fi door locks things. You know, everything's off. It's Ghostface's range. You know what I mean? And I really would like that. Whether that be in a remake or a Scream 5, is have a kill happen like this. Ghostface is just, you see this person, like, it's a girl, she's very high tech, she has all this tech, she has alarms, cameras, she has smart doorknobs, as I said, of smart lock things, she has smart doorbells, etc. Ghostface knows what to do. First, he goes and cuts the Wi-Fi line. You don't see it, but he somehow cuts the Wi-Fi line or something like that. He goes, cuts the Wi-Fi line, comes back, cuts the power. Once that power is cut, Donzo, you know what I mean? Your doors are unlocked, everything about to go down. Everything's about to go down now. He could just open the door and come right in and kill you. But that's not what I want. When Ghostface cuts off the lights, he just starts stalking her. Like, really, maybe this is your opening kill. Scream always has good opening kills. Maybe this is your opening kill. Scream's just stalking this girl. He's calling her. He's even FaceTiming her. Like, have a scene where Ghostface is, showing her his mask on FaceTime and just going, and like that, and he drags the knife, against the window, and he FaceTimes. I don't want Ghostface using FaceTime too much, but you know what I mean. I would like to have that, like, Ghostface can really torture. Ghostface can really torture people mentally more now. Like, Ghostface can FaceTime her while he's slashing her tires and breaking her window shield. Like, Ghostface is really torturing this girl, and you hear Ghostface say stuff like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna gut you," stuff like that, and it's just, and have the original guy who voiced Ghostface, and have him say it in this, like how he said, like how he says it, like in the original, but Ghostface is just having fun, and I really want that in in the in his voice. He's just having fun, but he's talking really slow. And when he gets more angrier, and when, you know, in this scene, when he gets more angry and is ready to come in, you start to hear that Ghostface voice from the original film. It starts to sound more like the original Ghostface voice. You know what I'm saying? It starts to sound more like the original Ghostface voice. And once he gets that level, he just breaks the window and kills her. I want that. Like, I really want that. Get creative with a Scream 5 or a remake. Whatever you do, get creative with the story, with the kills, with the stalking, with the promotion, with everything. Get creative. You gotta take risks. But at the same time, with taking risks, you gotta be respectful to Wes Craven. And Wes Craven is looking down and smiling. He really is. So, I'll be making another video on Scream very soon. So, Scream Reboot or Part 5 is happening. I'm excited, I'm hyped. If you stayed to the end of the video, let me know. Let me know if you want a Scream 5 or a reboot. I want both. There's room for both. You know, you can do a Scream 5, but I say you need to do a 6, then do a remake. If you enjoyed the video, you stuck to the end, let me know in the comments below. Catch everyone in the next video. Peace, I'm out of here.